Hello, how are you guys doing? I hope that you guys had a great Sabbath. Shalom. I hope that you guys are safe, warm. I hope that people have power, and I'm talking about utilities and power in the spirit too. I want to talk to you guys about something that I see kind of trending among the prophetic and the Christian community that's kind of disturbing to me. It's actually very disturbing because I see what the enemy is doing. Okay? What I'm seeing in more and more regularity on social media, a plethora, an increase of prophets, or people who operate, who claim to operate in the prophetic, who prophesy to people what they want to hear about their mate coming. They're about to get married. Yah's about to release you. I hear wedding bells and blah 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 blah. Okay, and I'm here to tell you I've been saved for going on 30 years. Okay, and I've seen it all, heard it all. Okay, I'm not telling you to despise prophecies. I'm telling you, those who are flocking to these people that are prophesying to your desire to want to be married, to have a mate, be careful, okay? Because this is the day and time that we're living in. I'm going to side-eye any prophet or anyone who claims to be operating in the prophetic, and they have absolutely nothing to say about the times that we're living in. They don't have a prophetic word about why the pandemic happened. They don't have a prophetic word released to the people to let the people know that we are in the apocalypse right now as we speak. They don't have a prophetic word on preparing the people for what is to come. I have to look at you sideways. And there are some people who I've respected in ministry, people who I've listened to and received and partook of their teachings, who are absolutely silent about what's going on in this country and in the world. And I'm just like, what's going on with that? What is up with that? You know? And it's almost like it's trending in the church and even in the so-called prophetic to ignore the very reality of what's going on around us. And that's scary, because the purpose of the prophetic, I thought, was to say what Yah is saying about a situation, right? And Yah is concerned about the things that we go through, people. And I'm sorry, Yah is not going to just prophesy to you about your mate coming, about your business coming, about money coming in the bank, about about life being so wonderful and grand and glorious and so easy. But he has absolutely nothing to say to the current times and the things that are being released in this earth realm. No. There are some people who are operating in the prophetic, but what they're doing is they're tapping into the desires of the people around them, the people that's pulling on them in the spirit. Give me a word, give me a word, give me a word. And so, because they feel that in the spirit, they feel the desires and the wants and the prayers of the people. And sometimes they may be overwhelmed with that. So that's what leads them to release that type of word to the people, because that's what they want to hear. But the problem with that is, what if that's not what Yah said? What if some of those people are never going to be married? What if they are called to a life of celibacy and being wholly devoted in mind, body, and spirit to Elohim, to Yah. You know, Yah has called some people to be single. He has graced some people to be single. And what I hate being done in the prophetic right now is playing on the emotions and the desires of people is what they are doing. And they really believe that they're hearing from the Lord. They really believe they're hearing from Elohim. And they're not. Some of them are unintentionally being deceptive because they really believe that. Because it sounds so deep and wonderful. And it makes people happy. Oh, your mate's coming. Yay! I can go get my wedding dress. You know, a couple of months ago, almost 3 months ago actually, Yall led me to write a book called Stop Being Afraid of Being Single, The Marriage Trap. It's called The Marriage Trap, Stop Being Afraid of Being Single. And I share my experiences with marriage as well as the experiences of possibly 3 other great women of Yah who messed up in marriage. You know, we've been taught in the church that we can't, as women, that we can't do certain things unless we have a husband. And the enemy sends mates. You best believe he does send mates. And the purpose behind the enemy sending mates is to slow down, to hinder, or to kill the ministry and the call that Yah has on the woman of God's, the woman of Yah's life. The enemy does not want you to give birth, if I can use that terminology, to what Yah has implanted into your spirit. Do you understand that? Do you understand that the enemy is slick? He's sinister. He's wicked. He's diabolical. And he will send you a mate to sabotage your anointing, to sabotage your ministry. Some mates have been sent from the pit of hell to literally murder women of Yah. I've heard about it. I've written about it. I've blogged about it. And y'all are just all caught up in this stuff. You are so distracted. So distracted. I want to read an excerpt from my book. How did the enemy fool me into getting married to men who clearly were not sent from Yah? Lesson number 1. You do not want to marry anyone immediately after experiencing a traumatic event, be it a death in the family, a job loss, a natural disaster, police profiling, or brutality, harassment, crime, etc. Application. We are the most vulnerable after trauma. Our emotions are high and we're not thinking straight. All we're operating on is emotion, and decisions, major life decisions made out of emotions never ever work out. They always end up being the worst thing that you can do. So if it's been within 6 to 12 months and you've experienced trauma in your life, trauma being anything that can cause PTSD, that's post-traumatic stress disorder, or any other mental health illness or relapse, then this is not the time for you to be going down the aisle. I was writing about my own marital experiences and failures. The enemy knew my triggers for wanting to be rescued and seeking solace in the arms of a husband was to have me go through trauma. The trauma in my life by default made me revert to a childlike state, and being there made me want to seek the protection of a man. But instead of receiving protection, we received more harm, danger, exploitation, and abuse, we being myself and my children. See how slick the enemy is? The enemy watches our lives, our decisions, our cycles, and he knows when we are most vulnerable. I'm being 1000% transparent in this ebook, and as I type this, Yah is literally revealing things to me, and he was. I hope and pray you too are being set free while reading this. Our healing can't come from other people, no matter how much we love them or they love us. When we are vulnerable like that, always seeking love from outside sources, we make ourselves vulnerable to attack, to exploitation, to abuse. We must learn to close the doors to our soul and allow the Ruach, the Holy Ghost, the Comforter, to heal us and make us whole. Some of our traumas are too much for others to handle, and I had to learn that. I had a lot of trauma, y'all. You can't tell it now. That's the power of Yah operating in my life through me. But I've been through a lot. And sometimes that's just too much for any man to handle. It's not that they're deadbeats or no good. And some of them are, trust me. Sometimes men are just as traumatized and never had a chance to deal with their stuff, their demons. During a conversation I had with an elder who raped me in a church years ago, he nonchalantly admitted to me that he had his first sexual experience at 3 years old. He didn't even flinch or bat an eye when he told me this either. He shared that with me as if he were proud of having sex with a grown woman at 3 years old. We seeking the Boaz. Give me my Boaz. Lord, when is Boaz coming? And Boaz is just as sick and jacked up and demonically influenced and possessed. What is Boaz going to do for you? But give you legal sex? Cut the grass for you? I felt so bad for him. I knew at that moment the elder was a sick man. And he just didn't realize how sick he was until he raped me. We make the mistake of thinking that men are strong, when in fact, even though the word says we are the weaker vessels, ladies, lots of times we as women are the stronger vessels in the spirit. I know a lot of men don't like that and will disagree, but it's just been my experience and observation that women deal with trauma and heal from trauma much quicker than men do when they make up their minds that they're going to deal with it. I'm not sure why that is. I've concluded that women are stronger in spirit. Men are stronger in the flesh. This is why some men have this secret indemnity or disdain for women. They know deep down inside we are the stronger in spirit, and they resent women for it. All I can do is shrug my shoulders at that one, ladies. I'm not sure why Yah set it up that way. I mean, look at the story of Adam and Eve. Adam named every creature on earth. Yah gave Adam dominion over every creature, every beast, including the serpent. He named the serpent. So he knew the serpent existed. He gave him his name. So since Adam had dominion over the serpent, since Adam named the serpent, since Adam named the serpent, you would think he would have been the first to be able to hear the serpent speak. No matter if it was Yah speaking or the devil, The serpent belonged to Adam. Adam was supposed to be protecting Eve, naturally and spiritually. So how is it that Eve was the first one to hear the serpent speak? And didn't she have dominion over it? Where was Adam? Even though Adam was able to hear Yah, Adam had a weakness. Adam was not able to hear and discern the voice of the enemy. His weakness. Let me repeat that. Adam, meaning men are not able to hear and discern the voice of the enemy. So why did Yah give Eve the ability to discern the voice of the enemy, even though she didn't know he was the enemy? She was the stronger in the spirit than Adam. If this weren't the case, Yah wouldn't have trusted the births of every other living creature, including the birth of Yahushua HaMashiach, who you call Jesus Christ, through the wombs of the woman. I mean, Eve herself was birthed out of the torso of Adam. I wonder if the fall of man had never happened, how would Yah have caused babies to be born on the earth? Through Adam's rib cage? Through another part of Adam's body? But since man fell, Yah had to make every preceding birth from there on out to be a painful one. And everybody knows that women bear pain much easier than men. So Yah trusted the pain and travail of childbirth through the female. No creature living is birthed from the loins of a male. Whomever can bear pain and still give birth is stronger. That was just something that, when I type and when I'm writing, Yah just pours into me and it just flows out of my fingers. I don't have an outline. When Yah has ordained for me to write something, it just flows. I wrote this book in less than a week. Might have been like 3 days. It's 52 pages long. And the stuff that was flowing, that was the Ruach, I'm concerned about the focus of the body. We are not, as a body, we're not focused on the things that we need to be focused on. We're focused on, if we are living in the last days, let me see if I can hurry up and get married before I die. Let me see if I can hurry up and get married before the Lord come back. As if when you die and you stand before Yah, that your mate is going to be standing there before you, right there next to you. I got news flash for you, baby. Once your mate dies, once the children die, once your parents die, that's it. We're not going to even know who they are in heaven. If we make it to heaven and our loved ones make it to heaven, we're not going to know who they are. The word says that they're going to be as angels. It's not like we're going to go up there and you see the little pictures and everybody's running to hug one another because they recognize, look at grandma. Look at my this. Look at my that. Look at the baby I lost. Look at this. And I'm not trying to be facetious or arrogant. And I'm not trying to be hateful. I'm in the Word. These relationships that we are worshiping and idolizing and working so hard for, and yes, even marriages that we're working so hard for, are only for this side of eternity. Do y'all realize that? The stuff that you crying and praying for all your mortal life. Give me a man. Give me a husband. Give me a wife. Give me some more babies. That's only for this enjoyment on this side, and you don't get to enjoy it too much. I'm sorry to bust the bubble. But it's not all glamorous and it's not all fun. I hear marriage is a lot of work, and I've been married. And let me tell you, it is. And I'm just like this. If I ain't getting paid for this, if this is not added to me in the spirit, if this is not helping me fulfill the call of Yah on my life, I don't want it. That's where I'm at. On this side of 50. You could be what you want. You can follow after you want what you want. But you need to understand. Be clear. That mate is for enjoyment on this side of eternity only. So the next time that mate get on your nerves and you can't hear from y'all because y'all too busy fussing, remember, this is what you prayed for. And in the meantime, while y'all crying and hollering and screaming and fasting and travailing and falling on the floor for a mate, the world is literally going to hell in a handbasket. The apocalypse is unfolding all around us as we speak. The book of Revelation is being mapped out right in our presence. And we're missing out on the most glorious time because we worried about getting a ring. Do y'all see how crazy that sounds? Is it just me? Where the soldiers at? Where y'all at, yo? Soldiers don't be crying about no bait mates and booze. Come on, man. Soldiers be on the battlefield fighting. And they're not worried. Their mates not out there with them. Their mates are back home. We're at war, people. It's time to back up off of that. This is not that time. I keep telling y'all that. This is not that time. I've been on here over 20 minutes. Rub your eyes and ask y'all to give you divine focus so that you will not be distracted in this hour. Be blessed. In the name of Yahushua HaMashiach.